everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Training Talk series by Chartered Accountants Ireland. My name is Sinead from the team, and I am talking to some of our course trainers about our training offerings. And today I'm delighted because we are going to spotlight in on women in leadership, navigating the environment. And I am thrilled because we have Dawn Leane from Leane Empower joining us. Dawn, welcome. How are you today?
Thanks, Sinead. I'm great. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to do this. I would talk about this program till the cows come home. So yeah, thank you for the invitation.
I am thrilled that you've come along because it's lovely to be able to bring to life some of our programs. So look, let's launch right in. And perhaps before we talk a bit about the program, let's get to know you a little bit better. So for the benefit of folk tuning in, maybe an introduction would be lovely.
Sure. Okay. Well, as you said, my name is Dawn Leane and my company is Leane Empower. And I always say my motto is, you didn't come this far to only come this far. And what I mean by that is that I work with professionals who know that there's so much more out there they can achieve, who understand that the opportunities are limitless and they have the ambition and the energy and the commitment to go after it. And my role really is to support them in doing that. And I do that in a number of ways. I do it through training, masterclasses, workshops like the one we're about to discuss. I do it through executive coaching and I do it through mentoring. So that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Fantastic. So motivational. I'm inspired even by the introduction, Dawn. Fabulous. Well, look, in terms of, obviously, you work with Chartered Accountants Ireland. Tell us a bit about that training relationship.
Sure. So this would be my second time delivering this workshop for Chartered Accountants Ireland. I developed it a few years ago. It works really well for professional women across a range of professions. I'm delighted to be able to bring it to Chartered Accountants now. We ran the course there at the start of the summer and the response was really, really positive. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, tell me more about it, Dawn. So the program, what's involved?
Sure. Okay, so I suppose it's women in leadership, and sometimes people ask me the question, well, why do you design a separate program or separate workshops for women in leadership? You know, are we not saying that men and women are equal? And absolutely we are. So fully accepting that men and women are equally competent and capable. But you know what, women experience the workplace differently to their male counterparts. And that's what this program recognizes. So it's really about helping women to navigate that, to understand a lot of the unwritten rules and norms of behavior that men, you know, are conditioned to understand. And sometimes as women, we need to have it explicitly stated for us. You know, so if we go back, the workplace was designed by men, for men, in a time when men went out to work and women stayed at home. And while our society's moved on quite a bit since then, it's a little bit slower in organizations because of our conditioning as women and because of men's conditioning. And that's not a negative on any workplace, or that's not to be negative in any way. It just takes time. And I find even working with, you know, I work with some startups, some SMEs that are newer organizations, and women in those organizations still experience a lot of the same challenges. So really this program is all about calling out some of those issues and finding a way through them. So can I give you an example?
Oh, please do, yes.
Right, okay. So I was working with a woman in professional services, financial services firm in London. I was working as a coach with her. And this woman had come into the organization and she had been, you know, from the very get-go, she was identified as high potential talent. And the first couple of promotions, you know, she got a tap on the shoulder and she was moved up and moved up. And in her environment, you know, the move was expected every 3 years. And she was now in her 4th year and nothing was happening for her. So her career had completely plateaued. Now, she was still performing extremely well. She was still getting all the right messages from the company, but no one was saying to her, you know, here's the next move. And so we worked out she was going to have this conversation with her manager. She was going to take charge of the situation and she rehearsed it. She planned out what she wanted to say. And she rang me the next day and she said, Dawn, you won't believe what happened. She said, I went in and I started into my, you know, this is what I see as being my next move. You know, here's the benefits of the organization. Here's my succession plan. Here's all the stuff that I need. And she said, he just said to me, what took you so long? And she said, you know, I didn't realize at that level she had reached, she was expected to advocate for herself. She was expected to be the one knocking on the door, making the moves, and she was waiting for the tap on the shoulder. So there's some of the kind of issues that, that aren't explicitly stated anywhere, aren't written anywhere, and can be just very dependent on the kind of manager that you have and the organization and the extent to which it will reach out. But I always say, our first few promotions are based on our technical skills. So, very good accountant, very good marketing person, very good HR person. But we reach a point where that's overlaid with a whole other set of skills and competencies and behaviors that often no one tells us that we need. And that's really why I designed the workshop, to make those more explicit and then to help people find their way through them. So we cover things like power and politics and the power dynamics in the workplace. We cover influencing and negotiation. We cover developing and communicating a professional brand, and networking, and how to network and build a coalition of support, and how then to actually use that network to progress and to move on your career.
Wow, Dawn, so much packed into that. So really something for everyone. How is it delivered? If I touch on that, the practical piece.
Sure. Okay. So again, recognizing everyone's extremely busy at the moment, what we've decided to do this time around is actually offer it over 2 Saturday mornings and offer it virtually. So it will be held on the 8th, I think, and the 15th of October. Yep. Via Zoom. So really there's no excuse. It's a 3-hour session. So you can just get up, throw on the tracksuit, have a coffee, come down and sit there, and we'll, there'll be no work calls, hopefully, and no work emails to disturb or distract from the process. And then at the end of the second session, we offer a one-to-one mentoring call, 30-minute mentoring call with me for participants. So very often I just find people like to go, well, tell me a bit more about networking, or here's a problem with my network, or, I've got this live issue at the moment, how can I apply some of what I've learned to that? So those calls are really, really valued actually by participants on the program, because it just helps kind of, bring it a little bit personal to them and to what their experience is at work. The other thing we do is we have a workbook which people complete going through. They do it individually. My situation is not your situation or someone else's situation. So it's like, what are the learnings that I need to take from this? What are the things that I need to change? And then it gives them, they end up the sessions with, their own playbook effectively for going forward.
Fantastic. And so accessible, as you say, no excuses. The convenience of online and virtual. Brilliant. Dawn, who is it for? We're talking about participants there, and I sort of alluded, something for everyone, but who attends this? Who is speaking to?
Yeah, it's professional women, and let me tell you, it's a broad range. So it really helps to have a few years work experience and maybe be in the first management position. I think they're the people who, if you don't have that, you won't get the same benefit from it. But like, I've had people up to VP level attend this and take stuff away and go, God, I never knew that. Or, I sort of knew it intuitively, but it's nice to have a framework around it, or understand, the science behind it. So yeah, it's any professional woman who's interested in advancing her career.
Fantastic. All welcome. Brilliant. Well, Dawn, I'm not going to let you go just yet. I would love to hear just some parting words. What would you say to someone considering it?
Oh, I would say it's one of the best investments that you can make in yourself, because it's not only about what I bring to the program, it's also about all the other participants and sharing the learning. It's very, very active. It's not sitting listening to me speaking for 3 hours. It's a lot of activities. You'll end up with your own professional brand statement. You'll end up with a networking exercise you can do. So lots of really practical takeaways that you can easily put into action. And that's what I want. I don't want people going back and thinking 3 weeks later, oh, I remember there was something about that course about networking. I really want them to take away things that they can put into action straight away.
Well, Dawn, what a note to end on. Thank you so much for coming along and sharing all of those insights and giving viewers, I think, a bit of a flavour as to the workshop, what's involved. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Not at all, Sinead. Thanks very much for the opportunity. Delighted to share some information on the workshop with possible participants.
Absolutely. Well, folks, tuning in, we're going to pop some details of the programme on the next screen. And until next time, we will see you soon. Thanks for watching.